Workcation. Demir Bentley has some explaining to do. Joining us live is our friend Cal, grad and co-founder of the Life Hack Method. Demir, it's good to see you again.
Hey, good to see you, Reggie. How you doing?
I'm doing great. So what do you mean by a workcation?
Yeah, I mean, we either used to have two categories. We were either working or we were on vacation. But now with the rise of remote work, we actually have a new option. It's called Workcation, and it's just what it sounds like. You grab your laptop and you take your work on the road with you. Now, CEO Brian Chesky of Airbnb recently said that 20% or more of their bookings were for stays of a month or longer. Think about that. That means people are taking off for longer and they're taking their work with them. So this is a global trend. Now, my wife Carrie and I have been doing this for 5 years now, so I think we've got some pro tips that we can share.
All right, so what are the benefits?
Well, I mean, the first thing is you can save a ton of money by booking stays that are a little bit longer, right? I mean, that's because you get way better discounts on Airbnbs for staying the whole month. So, for example, Carrie and I got half off an apartment last year in Paris just for staying the full month. And we also save money by using meal delivery services. So, in essence, the longer you stay, the more you save. Having done this, though, for years, the sweet spot is around 4 weeks.
Okay, so is there a danger of working somewhere where there's also a lot of playing going on all around you?
You know, ironically, I think the misconception about workcations is they're bad for your productivity. I'm sure somebody could take a good thing and make it bad, but what I've seen with my clients is it's actually really great for your productivity. I'll give you an example. I've never had a better workday in my life than the day that I was seeing the Taj Mahal in India. My wife and I couldn't go to see it until we get our work done, and let me tell you, we finished a whole day of work in less than 3 hours because we were motivated, right? When you're on workcation, you have a compelling reason to just get the work done so you can go out and explore. And by the way, a lot of people say, Reggie, well, you know, you're so far away from your team. It's not the worst thing in the world to be a little bit harder to reach. You know, if your team needs to learn to be independent a little bit more, they won't get an instant response from you. That's actually good. You can get some work done while everybody else is asleep.
So do you use, people who are working for traditional companies, do they use vacation time for this, or is it just a regular day?
It's completely negotiated, 100%. So, for example, I had a client who negotiated with their boss that their workcation time did not come at all out of their vacation time as long as they were hitting certain benchmarks. So I would say it's sort of a depends. I think it's a great time right now, since it's a new category, to go to your boss or go to whoever you work with and negotiate this new category and say, hey, yeah, I get 3 weeks of vacation. I'd also like to see if I could negotiate an extra month of workcation.
How does this work if you are in a couple, let's say, and one of you is on a workcation and the other one isn't?
Yeah, that's a really great issue. And I've had people, it works a little bit better with families. So if, for example, you're taking the kids and one partner goes out and takes the kids to the museum and the other partner stays and works, that actually works perfect. It's a little bit harder to stay focused when you know that one of your partners is out there exploring. But the truth is I've done it. I've had days when I was working a full day and Carrie goes out and explores. I actually think it could be a good thing to get a little distance from each other and have an adventure separately and then come back together and adventure together. I think it's one of those things that sounds a little bit more complicated than it actually is.
And finally, I want to ask you about optics, just because I know this is something my husband would worry about.
Right?
Really. So I'm just imagining if you're on a workcation and his background is Waikiki, is that an optic problem for his clients that he may be working with or his other colleagues?
Okay, I can only speak from my experience. Obviously, somebody out there is going to have a problem with it. But what I've seen, having coached tens of thousands of clients, is that people get stoked. When you have a background that's Waikiki or the Taj Mahal or Paris, instead of being jealous and being haters, most people look behind you and they say, what is that behind you? Where are you? And they just love on it. It brings a dynamic excitement, and it actually it sort of burnishes your image because it's like, wow, you're such a baller. Where are you? You're in Paris right now. So I actually think the optics work a lot more for you than they work against you. That's my opinion.
And we should let people know as we leave you where you are, what your background is.
Yeah, this is Medellin, Colombia behind me, and I love this background because people ask, well, where are you? What's the weather like there?
Awesome. It's always fun talking to you and really informative. Thanks so much, Demir.
Thank you so much, Reggie.